Am I the asshole? For not wanting wife on deed to new house? My wife and I have been married for 3 years and have generally kept our finances separate. We were both working when we got married, although I make significantly more. She stopped working when we had a kid, at which time I set up a joint account funded entirely by me for her to use for her expenses. We both owned homes prior to marriage and kept both. We've been living in my home and she didn't want to rent her home out and uses it more or less like a vacation property. We recently found a new home to buy together, but it would require at least one of the homes we own be sold in order to afford. She does not want to sell her place, nor does she want to contribute any of her very substantial liquid investments to the new house. She claims her contribution is staying at home and taking care of the baby. For what it's worth, I have never discouraged her to go back to work and told her we could arrange childcare. I told her that I did not expect her to pay half of the down payment since we have a disparity in income, nor do I expect her to contribute to the monthly payments since she is not working. But that if she wants to be on the deed, she needs to contribute some reasonable amount of her savings. If she wants me to sell my premarital home and pay 100 of the down payment and all of the upkeep on the home while she sits on her cash mountain of investments and contributes 0, then the house needs to be in my name only. She is accusing me of not valuing her work as a mom. Incidentally, I work full-time and contribute more than my fair share of child care on evenings and weekends, and said if I wanted things to be fair I could carry and deliver our next baby. To be clear, I am a man. Am I the asshole? Here. Unless you have a prenup and are in the US, she would be entitled to half of the house if she is on the deed or not, or at least the increase in equity over your down payment on the house. Buy $600K house, put $100K down from sale of old house, sell for $1 million. She would get half of profit from sale minus $100K. If you want the house to be in your name only and not have to give her part of it when she decided to divorce you, you should get a postnup. Sounds like you already have money issues in a very young marriage. Not the asshole. Make it even. You both have your names on the deeds to both homes. In many states, even if the title to a home belongs to one spouse, it's considered marital property. It also is considered a marital asset when bought during the marriage. The only way around that is a quitclaim deed. Not the asshole. It sounds like she's trying to set things up so she can claim half the house in a divorce. You should get legal advice for your state on whether the new house would become part of the marital estate if you do buy a new one. In some states, your premarital assets such as your existing home would not be part of the marital estate and would not be divided at divorce. Not the asshole. I am completely taking out the view that she is a stay-at-home mom here because I think that is influencing a lot of the answers here. To me, even if both of you are working or not working, the idea that she gets to keep her assets and you don't, to buy this new home is unfair. If this is your joint home, you should both fairly contribute to it. Not the asshole. She wants to keep her cake and eat yours too. Don't sell or move out of your house. I would stay put for another 2-3 years and see how things go relationship-wise. Even if she decides to sell hers or contribute equitably to the down payment for a new house, it seems like she isn't invested in this relationship. She does not want to sell her place, nor does she want to contribute any of her very substantial liquid investments to the new house. Then she doesn't get to be on the deed. Sorry, that's how it works. She's either a part of this partnership, or she isn't. You're being forced to sell your home to pay for this. If she's not willing to do the same, then she doesn't get to be on the deed. Going with not the asshole. Her being a stay-at-home mother doesn't enter into this. Her unwillingness to contribute when she could is the issue. That said, depending on your country or state of residence, shared assets can be a thing. Anything bought during marriage and not otherwise covered in a prenup can be contested as a shared asset. I am not a lawyer, though. Not sure I agree with other comments about your wife planning on divorce. She may be hanging on to assets because she is not working and needs the security to feel less dependent on you. Maybe clear things up about her professional objectives. If she is hoping to remain at home, perhaps you could ask her to consider finding some part-time work she can do from home so that she could help pay the mortgage on the new house. That's quite the business arrangement. Marriage you have there op. This sort of thing happens when everything is yours or hers and not ours. This sounds eerily like my brother's marriage. She had family money that was all hers. He earned all his money and it was theirs. It has not gone well for him. He's in a studio apartment while she's living in the 5-bedroom house he bought. She has all that inherited wealth and he has alimony payments. Y'all need to figure how deep that lake is before going out and realizing she's the only one in a canoe. Not the asshole. Joint finances should be joint. All of them. Hers and yours. I'm glad that you are viewing your income as joint while she is a stay-at-home mother. That's really important. But when a family is operating on one income, it's no longer practical to try to maintain separate finances. As you see here, the result is one person's finances becoming joint by default, and the other getting all the reward and none of the risk of being financially intertwined. I would hold off on the new home purchase until you agree that all properties will be jointly owned. Or if you choose to purchase the house, I would get a lawyer to draft an agreement that if you do sell your house and buy a new one, you will recoup your investment before splitting any proceeds from the sale of the house in the event of the split. Still not entirely equitable, as she will have benefited from the appreciation on her own house as well as half of your shared home, but it's better than her defaulting to 50 of the marital home and assets plus 100 of her premarital assets. If she doesn't like either option, then stay put and maybe look into counseling. Stay-at-home mothers deserve an award, but they don't deserve a vacation home. Sell both homes, and use the money to buy the third home. Either you both get to keep your premarital assets or neither of you does. She's ridiculous. Not the asshole. You two are rather transactional, no commitment, both are planning for the worst. Neither is considering the other's interests to be even equally important. You should probably just get divorced and co-parent and live together, since neither of you are acting like married people. It sounds like she may be concerned that, as a stay-at-home mother, she needs to offset her lack of 401k and her lost years climbing the corporate ladder in case of an eventual divorce. Perhaps go to counseling together to determine the most fair next steps. It's not fair for her to contribute nothing to the new marital home and keep all her assets, but perhaps she's being smart about protecting herself, as stay-at-home mothers often have a very hard time reaching the earning potential they would have had if they'd not stayed home with children. Her fear is valid, and your concern is too. Nah,